So I think it's 7:01, 7 o'clock. John, you're muted. Can you come off mute? Thank you.
I'm here.
Hi, Ernie.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jess. So Matthew Clark, interim chair of the Willington, Connecticut Economic Development Commission. It's a special meeting for Monday, August 26th at 7 p.m. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll call the meeting to order. Public participation is encouraged for our meetings. We run a we're very interested in what the public has to say and full participation. So if there's anybody out there in the public who wants to comment and, oh, thank you. Kathy Demers, how are you? You have your hand raised.
Hi, good evening. Kathy Demers, 48 Mason Road. First of all, I just want to thank you all for working with the consultant to put on the open house that'll be coming up. That sounds very exciting. Unfortunately, my husband and I won't be in town that day, but we're trying to help get the word out a bit. And I was wondering what your plan is for advertising. I haven't seen anything quite yet on the EDC website. I've been talking to people, about it. People said they haven't heard about it, but were interested. Some of them are going to be at the flea market that day. Unfortunately, running a table, so they wouldn't be out until 3 o'clock. So the one question is, how are you going to advertise? Are you going to put it on the town website, Facebook page? And also, if people cannot make the meeting itself, is there going to be another way that people can send in some ideas or comments? Thank you.
I can take a stab at some of that. Thank you very much, Kathy. Appreciate it. We're very interested in having comments.
Which meeting is this?
This is the Economic Development Commission.
Okay, that's what I'm supposed to be watching now. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm watching.
Okay. The idea is that we have a flyer out. It's out at the post office, the town hall, and the library, and we're promoting to each time there's one of these meetings, a public selecting board of selecting meeting I've been announcing, and we have our own economic development commission meetings that we're announcing as well. As far as broader outreach, we're trying to put together signage, which we're going to be talking about today. Bill, do you have one of those? It's over there. Yes. We have signage that we're going to be putting out, and we also want to put posts to social media as well.
Radio advertisement.
And then we also had the yes, you can hold that up though. We also had WTIC for the town, and we had John participate in that as well. So we had promotion there as well. But to your point about town website and other advertising, we want to try and do that. I don't know exactly what the status is, but we'll be moving forward with that as well. Ernie, do you have anything to add to what I just talked to Kathy about?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're Kathy, and thank you, Kathy, for all of your support throughout the process here. Kathy and I have been keeping in touch, and she's been very helpful in making some connections and otherwise providing some really valued input. So appreciate that, Kathy. So as far as the town itself goes, we have posted the flyer on the Willington Wire, and I learned today, well, actually Kathy had sent a question about the Facebook posting, and I gather from Mike D'Amato that he's been in touch with the person who handles the town's Facebook, and I guess we're going to have a posting on that perhaps a little bit later this week. In terms of the town website and so forth, that that's town can really respond to that better than I can, but we are getting the word out through other means, including the radio program that John was a commentator on. And we've had an article published in the Neighbors newspaper that goes out to a pretty big audience, both in printed form as well as online. They have about a 7,000, I believe 7,000. I'm not sure if that's total printed circulation, but they have a pretty good audience, you know, so we got that out. Of course, we've been working with various stakeholders, and I'm going to be reaching out again. I have in the past and along the way, but I'll be reaching out again to the stakeholders that I've interviewed, which now number 44 in total. And so we'll be reminding folks and asking them to tell their friends and to come on out. We've also been working closely with the library, and in terms of, you know, advertising, if you will, been working with Deb Linares and others on that. And they're supposed to be posting information on their website. I'm looking for my notes here, through an e-blast, through their Facebook, and through Instagram. Now, I've asked that, you know, we be sure that we're got the right information, and I want to know what's going out, when it's going out, obviously, so that I can be aware and take advantage of those announcements, and then also obviously report back into the EDC. The signage, which Bill Rankin has volunteered to kind of lead up, which looks really good, Bill. Thanks for all your efforts on that. That should get some attention as well. So you know, we're working at it.
Kathy, anything else that you wanted to add, or is that okay?
No, that sounds great. Again, appreciate all the work you're all doing on this, and you know, I hope you have a good turnout. So if people do want to send in comments, they can't attend that day, can we just put it through the EDC website, an email to you? I think it's easy to click on your name at.
Yeah, they can either send it. They can either send it to the EDC email address, or they can send it directly to me, and I'll make sure that everyone gets it.
Okay, great, thanks.
Right, and that's, I think it's mclark at Willington, or is it .org or something like that? I can't remember exactly. Look up any other representative and just substitute Matt Clark, and you'll get there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
John, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Ernie told me, you know, that the meeting was happening and I can catch up on what's going on
Great.
on the
Thanks.
7th this way. I can't believe all that's been done. I just can't believe how much you've done already. That's fabulous.
Fine.
Where have you been hiding in the woodwork all these years? You can arrange like this, you know?
Well, we're trying to. So, okay, great. Any other public participation? No, I think we're all set. I don't see any raised hands. We're done with that. Commission business, strategic plan and economic development, open house update. So I think let's tackle this thing first. Your sign.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. So Willington Economic Development, open house, with little flashy things. Saturday, September 7th, 1 to 4 p.m. Willington Library, come join us. Clean cut.
I got 10 of them.
You got 10 of them?
10 of them. I put one out in front of the town hall. This morning.
Are we recording?
Should be.
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, John's got the recording. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you got 10 of these? Bill?
I got 10 of those.
That's great.
Yeah.
How are we paying for this?
I don't know.
Well, I'll pay for half of this.
Don't worry about
All right, only if he pays for his 30.
it.
Yeah. And anyway, whatever. Thank you very much. This is absolutely wonderful. This is terrific. Do you have these things done?
That was done in town by all printing. All printing.
Good.
They're sure good job.
And so do you have any idea about where you want to put it?
No, I was gonna kind of throw that out there. I know we want to put one by the library. I was thinking one by transfer station. I already put one out in front of town hall for the board, for the selection meeting. I thought that was.
Being one right in front of Hall School.
Yeah.
Well,
Or,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
because of the,
I'm not sure we can. I'd like to.
yeah, I was thinking of
Just
just,
ask permission.
Well, how about, well, you have 10, right?
10.
So you have one town hall, right? That's one.
Yeah.
We have library, that's 2. Transfer station, I would do 2 there. I would do.
One in, one out, yeah.
Yeah,
That way people, like, they're too busy looking one way, at least on the way out, they can kind of.
right. And then, let's see, so that's 2. So that's 4, right? So we have 6 left.
Could put one out in front of the parking lot by Willington EDC 2, sees a lot of traffic.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We have to get permission from somebody.
I'll ask you.
Yeah, right, I mean, literally, right at the
Right.
exit, right there, so you gotta sit at the stop sign, you have to look, you got the second that you can,
You'll see it.
oh, yeah.
That's Bell Plaza. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What about the town green?
Cheryl, is that you?
It is me, Matt. What about the town green?
Cheryl, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Town Green, yes, Town Green, maybe we could do 2 on Town Green.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Joan Library would be okay with that, right? Wouldn't
Oh,
they?
sure, they'd be willing to.
Okay.
And they also have, if you look at them nice, they have those white boards where you put the letters in.
Yes.
They can do one of those too, that it shows it a little further than this, although that's more attractive. They'll still.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah, so I would ask the library if they would use their whiteboard. They're very willing to cooperate with anything they can in town.
Yeah. And then, we had a suggestion of where was it, by the
They're right from the welcome to Willington sign on 32.
welcome to Willington sign on 32. So we'd have the Willington sign there.
You.
Well, you might get more traffic that way.
We got 2 more to go. Firehouses?
Okay, let me see.
I feel like there's nothing towards the,
How about
the 84, yeah.
out 44 somehow?
The other thing we could do is we could do by the 84 where people are getting on and off up there. By the truck stops,
Over by FedEx then.
right by FedEx, right. That, I don't know, we need to ask.
You know what sees a lot of traffic is across from the athletic complex there.
Yeah,
Cause I walk there every morning and there's a whole bunch of people that come down on that hill.
Hills too.
yeah.
How about in the athletic complex?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
River Road Complex.
Well, that's good. 1 forward there, gentlemen and lady. Okay, and,
I think the timing is correct now. I mean, you don't want to put them too far out ahead of the date.
no,
And I think if I'll put them out over the next couple of days. How's that sound? Sound like a good idea?
that's a good idea.
Sounds good to me. I just wanted to, if I may just chime in on you guys were mentioning, you folks were mentioning, putting up a sign down there where you walk, Bill, at the recreation athletic area there. I think that's a really good idea because sometimes, the signs are a little bit not hard to read per se, but hard to take in if you're just driving by, And so
Yeah.
wherever people might be walking, such as that area down there might be a good spot where somebody could actually just stop for a moment and say, oh, okay, just a thought.
It sees quite a few people down there. I mean,
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
It's well used.
Good. So the next thing, go ahead, sorry. Did you have more, Ernie?
No, go ahead, sorry.
So the next thing on the agenda would be, along with the strategic plan, economic development, open house. That's our signage portion of that. Do we have any, Ernie, do you have any other updates that you'd like to share?
Let's see, a couple things. So I put together this short tech memo 3, which we don't need to, to read or go through, but work is progressing. I think we're in pretty good shape. We got still a little less than 2 weeks, but we've still got a little time to, continue to pull things together. And, I don't want to micromanage the ground game there as, for the the stretch run here, but word of mouth, you guys know what to do. You know, we've got some tools to work with in terms of the flyers, and which are also obviously not just, you know, we have them, hopefully that you have a batch of them that are printed out that folks can take a few and drop them off at businesses or give to their neighbors and things like that. But it's also obviously a PDF that you can email. I've sent the article in a PDF format, just the article, not the whole newspaper, so that can be sent around. So, you know, but aside from that, I think, again, I think we're in pretty good shape. We're going to be continuing to work internally here. I've got assembling a variety of materials. I'm working on writing up what I'm referring to as a facilitator guides, just like a 2 to 3 page thing for each market topic table that gives a little summary of that particular market, 2 or 3 paragraphs, what retail or manufacturing or, you know, transport, whatever it might be. A few talking points, just to suggest if there's just to get the conversation going, or if there's a lull or something like that, but I'm not trying to, you know, to script it in terms of what people should say or not say or how to say it, you know, just some few little, again, they're talking points, and then some pointers about like what the objective is in terms of gathering input, and how that's to be recorded. And so, you know, we're working on that. In addition, just an update pursuant to a lengthy conversation that I had yesterday with a gentleman that Kathy was kind enough to send our way, a gentleman by the name of Bob Bloom, who is a Willington resident, musician, educator, you know, I guess something of sort of a cultural, you know, icon to a certain extent. And we talked for more than an hour and a half on the phone yesterday. And several things are emanating from that conversation. One is that it looks like we're going to have some music at the event, as I had originally thought might be a nice touch. Probably going to be live, possibly recorded, but the idea is to create a welcoming environment as people are coming into the room, you know. And so that could be just a person strumming a guitar. We'll see about that. I'm continuing. I'll fill you in on the details as we get those worked out. But Bob is a real resource and has a lot of good ideas, and is helping with not only the music, but also having sort of a sound system available in the room, just as a microphone for folks to be able to be heard around the room if we want to use that. And he's also suggested, got two or three radio announcers and programs that he suggested I reach out to that are, in his words, community minded, and would be willing to promote the event on their air over the next couple of weeks. So this just came into play late yesterday afternoon. So I'll be following up on that. Continuing to coordinate with the library, and you know, I think we've done a good job in preparing for this, and we'll continue to work it out and hopefully have a good event. And I'm confident that that's going to happen. And you know, as far as turnout, you know, we'll see what happens. But if at the end of Saturday I can return to my room at the Roadway Inn and lay my head down and say, hey, we all did it. We did our best, or we did a credible job. And, you know, that's all we can do. And I think we're certainly doing that. I appreciate all the support that the EDC and all of you individually are providing. And also wanted to thank Joan Taraskowitz for all her support and the work and time that she's been putting in and helping to inform me personally and the process. And then
Thank you.
I would say too, just a note that in terms of the turnout, it'll be it'll be an interesting sort of a test of, sort of community interest. It'll be interesting, but whether we only have 20 people or 100, the point is, we want to make sure that the folks that do come, we want them to have a rewarding experience and to, assimilate, and take in their valuable input. And, I just had a thought, which I have to share with you because, in these things, especially because we're reaching out to a pretty wide audience, it's not just inviting, a few people or whatever, but, that kind of slightly, disheveled young man that comes in like at the end of the program and doesn't really say anything. He kind of walks around and looks and, goes to different tables and stuff, Well, that person, that guy or that gal could be, a native son or native daughter of the quiet corner of Connecticut who has spent the last 5 years in Silicon Valley and is now a billionaire, okay, who is wanting to return to his native land and, maybe graduated from UConn, parents or grandparents live in the area. I'm not predicting that by any means, but stranger things have happened. And I can tell you some personal stories. I won't take the time now. But anyway, the point is, we'll make the most of it and we'll know that we've done a good job. We've done our best. And then we move on to the second half of the overall economic development strategic planning process. And I want to cloud the focus tonight, but we'll be interested to talk about that on our next go around.
So the moderators guides for the different tables, you're working on those now. Do you have a date when those will be done, Ernie? And would you be open to having some input on those?
What was the last there, Matt?
Would you be open to having input on those? Me providing input on those?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time, Matt?
Do you know when the moderators guides for the different tables will be complete?
The guides that I'm putting together?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, sound isn't that great here today. I've got about half of them done. So, see, today's Monday, Tuesday, probably day after tomorrow.
And would you be willing to have some input if I had some input on those?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then as far as the facilitators themselves, we're still filling in some blanks there, but I'm not too concerned about it. The UConn folks apparently, and I'm in touch with them, but they're having some meetings about, I guess, deciding who they really want to send. I wouldn't be surprised for actually some, not just students, but maybe a couple of the professors maybe will volunteer, but they're also in transition because, of course, the students are just now, returning or in the process of returning and so forth. So I'm tracking that. And then if we get caught a little short, John Guskowski and Mike D'Amato, who we currently got as kind of, roaming facilitators that can keep the ball rolling and move things along. They volunteered to anchor a couple of tables if need be. And, I'm not overly concerned about filling in those gaps, but that's an ongoing effort, and some of that could come down to, within the last couple of days. But as far as the facilitator guides, Matt, I will send those out to you.
Thank you.
Group within a couple of days.
Sure. So anything else on on this topic?
I have
Um,
something real quick, Matt. It's Cheryl. Ernie, I'd be
Yes.
willing, per your suggestion, to be the person at the welcome table with the name tags and kind of pointing everybody around the room, which
You
is
are
what you had suggested.
You are willing to do that?
Absolutely. And help you with all the cleanup and all that
Oh, well, God
jazz
bless you.
too.
Well, bless
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That kind of welcoming table is an important role, and I'll circle up with you before the event, Cheryl, to talk more about that. But it's basically just welcoming people, offering a voluntary sign-in sheet, name tag, you know. You got it. You know it.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Perfect.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Of course.
Okay,
One point.
yeah, go ahead.
Ernie, you had talked about, putting a one or two pager together for facilitator advice or facilitator instructions or, any chance we can get that prior to the open house?
Well, that's what the facilitator guide, the 2-page thing I'm talking about, Matt was just asking about. I'll send that to you guys in a couple of days.
Sure. Sure.
You know, oh, okay, hey, thank you very much, Ernie, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, we have other business here. Want to bring up for
One
discussion.
more point, I apologize.
Oh, no,
How many, heads do you have lined up for Friday afternoon on the setup?
Well,
I know I'm one.
you have volunteered, Mike Johansson has volunteered to help. Trying to think exactly who else. The more the merrier. So if you know anybody that's got a little time on Friday afternoon that wants to come by, that would be terrific. I don't think we need a huge amount of help, but you know, people are welcome to come by and pitch in.
And Ernie, what time on Friday are you going to be doing setup?
So I believe, and I correct myself here because John and Mike D'Amato have also expressed a willingness to help out on Friday afternoon. I apologize for not saying that before, but I think about 1 o'clock, John.
Okay.
And I'll confirm that with Deb Linares, and you know. And so I'm coming down. I'm coming down on Friday morning. I'll probably get into Willington around 11 o'clock or something like that, staying at the Roadway Inn, and then obviously staying Friday night, and then I'm staying Saturday night as well, just to be sure that everything's covered. So. And then I'm going to be either probably bringing with me, most likely, some form of refreshments, some bottled water and juice and sodas and stuff like that. And we'll get those stocked into the refrigerator at the library on Friday. So we'll have some cold drinks for folks on Saturday.
We had talked earlier about, the flea market. And there's a flea market on the town green that morning. About maybe putting a table up there, or is that still something that, has credence?
I think, my thought was we do flyers, we print up flyers and hand them out to the different tables, the Republicans, the Democrats, and the front gate. And I don't know if the Conservation Commission or the wetlands are gonna have anything there, but if they're there.
Historical Society will have something.
Historical Society, right?
That's a good idea, then you don't have to set up.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
I
can
agree.
take care of it.
Yeah.
And we'll have the signs out there too.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, since I'll be there on Friday night, so I'll be there, you know, I'll be in Willington first thing Saturday morning. And if time permits, which it should, you know, I'd like to spend some time and take a swing through the flea market myself. I like a good flea market. So if nothing else, but you know, I'll make a swing through there and do what I can to encourage folks to stop by. And for those that have the booths or vendors or booths there that are you know, have a responsibility to be there until the end, which is according to the information is about 3 o'clock. You know, some people might feel like, you know, they can swing by for 10 or 15 minutes or longer, you know, toward the end of the program, will actually be kind of not a bad time to come, because we're going to be coalescing things, and the whiteboard will be full of all sorts of interesting hieroglyphs, and you know, so few of those folks might be able to stop by as well. But you know, we'll do what we can, and you know, obviously you guys on the ground there can, you know, sign there, and some spreading around some flyers would be good. So I see that having it's a little bit of a conflict, but I see having the two events on the same day is essentially a positive that we can probably benefit from, because there'll be people coming into town that may be interested in economic development as well.
Okay, so moving from 3A to 3B, other business, I had written down here tax leveling ordinance. Bring it up for discussion with the commission. You too, Cheryl. I'd like to schedule that as an item on our agenda to talk about next meeting.
Yeah, we touched upon it briefly last time.
We talked about it a little bit.
Introduced it one time before and touched upon it a little bit, and
Yeah. I'd like us to contemplate, you know, making a suggestion that we move forward with that. And we'll make the suggestion to the board of selectmen.
yeah, I agree.
But the question would be, you know, what are the parameters? And what are we offering? You know, I don't think anyone wants to see us leave money on the table in terms of tax revenue. We're a small town, we need tax revenue. This would not be any kind of an abatement of giving back. No discount, nothing. But what it is when you have a depreciating asset, you know, your taxes are highest at the beginning and lowest at the end. We're going to be taking and saying, oh, they're going to be about the same all the way. You know, I just think it's something we should consider. Maybe, and I talked to Pete about it today, and I'm like, no, you know, maybe it's something we should consider. I'll see what the board, our group has to say, and then make a suggestion to him. So, you have any thoughts on that, you guys?
Well, as someone who has developed businesses and properties, I can tell you it does affect your decision. It does. More money that you have to lay out, the more you're looking for a way to encourage.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking to TIF, town is too small for that,
right.
but kind of looking at it, leveling out the payments over time.
Percentage rates are up. We've seen some bigger projects in some of the other towns right now, start and then stop, wait to see if interest rates come down a point or so with bigger commercial operations. So everybody's playing that game of how we can,
Anything we can squeeze.
yeah, dial it down a little bit, so it could be a tipping point for somebody that's looking to come here and do something. I mean, so at least something to offer.
Right, and it would be, I think it would be discretion. It's not like everybody qualifies for this. It would have to
Can
be
be some criteria.
implemented. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll talk to the lawyer, but it should be implemented on a case by case basis. You know, what's your plan? What's your case? We'll let you know. I don't know if we can do that or not, but I don't want this to be available to anyone.
I almost give it this kind of, when you kind of revert back to planning and zoning, we got special permit type of situation, you know, it's. It could be dialed to if you're a business this big or looking to procure something or establish, and you're fall into maybe a tiered platform, okay, you're this large, you would have to apply for this special, I don't want to call exemption or special circumstance, if you will, and then it's approved by whoever would be overseeing it.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yeah,
So there's several ways to do this. I guess my question, I mean, and certainly we can put on the agenda for next time a discussion about a potential ordinance. Was there a specific sort of flavor of tax abatement in mind that you were looking at, or just sort of discussing the thing and looking to shape it as part of the discussion?
yeah, tax leveling.
Tax leveling.
No abatement.
Okay.
And I wanted it personally to be discretionary, but that's open. I would rather not have it available to every business. I want it to be discretionary. So I don't know if it's something we can do or not.
Sure. No, it absolutely is. I mean, again, there's different flavors of doing that, and it could certainly be some sort of sliding scale based on the investment that's being proposed by the business owner or developer. So, up to $1 million in investment is this category. If you 1 to 5, 5 to 10, etc. And then there's also some municipalities, and I'm sure Ernie can share some of this also, provide would require essentially a pro forma where the business would basically show that here I'm looking at the industrial park in Tolland, I'm looking at a business park in Willington, here's the relative tax rates, here's my development costs, and here's the gap, here's the 50,000 a year that can make a difference one or another. And if you show the pro forma, it can certainly aid in the decision. But there's different ways of doing it, sure, certainly, and it doesn't need to be come one, come all, particularly if the town is targeting certain types of business.
Right, and and the targeting of that kind of business is one of the things we want to have come out of our plan. So, yeah. So, John, are you familiar with any examples that we might be able to look up, or that you might be able to share? That would be sort of tempting for.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the programs that I'm more familiar with tend to be more abatement programs than leveling. And I think I would have to understand a little bit, but I'll do a little digging on what the leveling actually means financially for what the benefit to the developer and what the benefit to the community is. But it's a very standard, there's a very standard tax abatement where, there's a somewhere between a 3 and a 10-year ramp up of property taxes or a leveling of taxes for the first several years of a business to make the initial investment a little bit easier. But I would tax leveling is something that I haven't heard of as much as a term of art, but I can certainly pull some examples.
Very, very interested in maybe CCM might have.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to contact CCM on about this?
Absolutely.
So that'd be very, very helpful, because right now it's just sort of, for me anyway, it's just sort of this amorphous, nebulous kind of thing that's like, there's a need out there. We want to be as welcoming as we can to the businesses that we're interested in having here. Therefore I'd like to move forward, but we'll see. Or, so
it is part of the strategic plan.
Yeah.
It's an incentive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So John, you're gonna do that. By the way, did we ever go over who's gonna be delivering? You gonna be putting these things up?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to help? I can help.
I get a couple. Oh.
Yeah.
How about you do three, and 4?
All right, that sounds good. We'll meet after. We'll meet after this and we'll figure it out. Okay, as far as I know, there's no reports or correspondence. Well, we had correspondence from Kim Demers, so that regarding our efforts, she was very complimentary in what she sent along. And then public participation for the last item. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
Shouldn't we make a motion to accept the minutes from last time?
Just gonna bring that up, Cheryl. Yeah.
I apologize, but I haven't seen the minutes.
I got them right here.
Do you?
They're good. They're good.
Okay.
Bill, they're good. Somebody just make a motion, they're good.
John, you do a wonderful job, John.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I read the minutes, John did do them, I remember now, so I didn't have any folded, that's why. So, very good, thank you very much for that, Cheryl.
Yep.
I'll take a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting,
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Motion to accept the well put together notes that John had done for our Monday, June 3rd special agenda meeting.
Right,
I'll second.
Cheryl seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Cheryl.
Of course.
Okay, and, public participation, for, the adjournment of our meeting. Anybody out there wanting to comment? Right.
I'm going to be taking the table for tourists for the
beautiful.
yeah. So there are a lot of things that I'd like to see here, but my thing is, what really generates tourism? So in October, when after this is all over, of course, in October, we're going down to Virginia to a bluegrass festival. And we're going to end up staying in this town called St. Paul. And it's got population 880. But it's got, I think it's 4 hotels. So now I want to know, what is it that's drawing people that these 4 hotels can be active in, other than maybe this one festival that happens to be about 40 minutes away? So I'm thinking that I had thought, boy, how would we ever get people here? Evidently, if you build it, they will come, maybe. I'm hoping that might be part of it. But I think that I'm beginning to look at tourism in a new light. In a new light, if I'm willing to stay in one town and drive 40 minutes for a festival, would people be willing to stay in Willington with the right facilities to go to Boston for the day or come back? Or if we have transportation to Boston and back, or New York and back, I'm beginning to think that maybe part of being a tourist or having tourists is what else is around you, not necessarily what's in that town.
Exactly.
I'm beginning to think in that direction, but I want to know how a population of 880 can have 4 hotels. I will be talking to the town administrators or something, just trying to figure this out for fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Joan, what was the name of that town? St. Paul, Virginia?
St. Paul, Virginia.
St. Paul, Virginia.
And the festival is in a small town called Big Rock Gulch or something like that.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, just a it's a huge festival, I guess, bigger than I thought. So.
Is that over in Western Virginia area?
This is down, it's almost into North Carolina.
Almost
Alright, so
North Carolina.
We're down
That's
south.
beautiful.
Yeah, yes, it is. We're gonna have to wonder.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't catch your name at the beginning.
I'm Joan Taraskowitz.
Okay, thank you, Joan.
Yeah, nobody can pronounce it, don't try.
I'm
Again,
a Guskowski, so
Joan, if I may just say, I just wanted to let you know, not to interrupt you, but I wanted to let you know that, I'm putting these kind of like packages together for each of the tables. And so I'm assembling materials for tourism for you and for the table. And I'll be in touch with you well in advance to talk with you about it. But we've talked a little bit about the need and the demand, the unsatisfied demand for additional hotel accommodations in Willington. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'll be talking with you and providing materials.
that's good.
So,
Joan, my wife agrees with you 100% with regards to the hotels.
Really?
Oh, big time.
In Arizona, we stayed in one, which is really strange. with my son, etc. We stayed in this hotel, and outside they had a big area with a couple fire pits and everything. And so staying at that hotel became a real event. And it wasn't just go to your room and put on TV. And a lot of people were sitting out there and enjoying, and a place where the Yukon families could meet for graduation celebrations and things like that. Everybody could rent the rooms, and then you have a facility, a party room, you've got a pavilion outside or whatever. I mean, we could design some really good things. All you do is find somebody to build them. That's the rub right there.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the rub, but I'm kind of excited about the ideas, yeah.
Good, that's terrific. Thank you for helping out, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh, I get a big kick out of this.
Good.
Ernie and I spent a lot of time, what if we do this, what if we do that? What if we do a hotel that is nothing but tree houses? We've got those gullies here
Yeah.
in Willington. You use telephone poles or equivalent to put the rooms on. I've seen this in
seen it.
Arkansas.
I've seen it too.
In Arkansas, and I thought, whoa, again, people would probably stay here rather than in a hotel in Mansfield
Yeah.
because of the uniqueness. I think it'd be fun.
It would be fun.
I've said enough.
Okay, so, I think that's all. So I'll get a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you.
You're
you're
John.
welcome. Oh, and I just wanted to really quick let you guys know too, Ernie, I'm gonna write to WFSB and see if they'll put an announcement on their Friday broadcast on the 6th and maybe Saturday in the morning as well. I
Okay.
know that they do a lot of advertising. I don't know if it's just for like nonprofits, but I'll send them an email tomorrow and get
Okay.
the deets on it.
And I appreciate that, and they might do it as, under a public service announcement sort of thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Send in the flyer.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I prefer it.